Yeah, my name's Ryan Strom. I'm based out of Calgary in Western Canada. Um, Within Worley, I work in our consulting group, which is part of a digital enablement kind of push by Worley. Worley's we'd call ourselves a global solutions provider for very focused on the energy sector, especially, which has taken us from kind of traditional fuels and things like that to and now more into alternative energy generation, transport, and storage. So within that context, I'm a portfolio director for Worley in the consulting space. So I'm working on different products that we're developing and then pushing into the market to serve that kind of those types of clients. Before Shark came along, we would typically be, and frankly, we're still a little bit stuck in the spreadsheet paradigm. So a lot of different spreadsheets. Of course, with 60,000 people, we've got all kinds of different spreadsheets that different people are using, different templates, even different ideas on what's important for a business case and those types of things, and certainly different outcomes, like different output methodologies. So before Shark came along, we were very varied and making consistent decisions was pretty tricky. I think it was mostly about consistency of outputs, being able to compare one opportunity to the next. Most of the way we use Shark is actually internally, with looking at opportunities for, should we invest in this or should we invest in that? Investing in our business traditionally we just didn't do it as much as we do now. We, as a traditional consulting company or an engineering company, you're a fee for service. You provide services to clients, and often those are bespoke to them every single time. And so whatever we did, we were doing directly for clients. And now we're finding that in the digital age, you have to we need to invest. We need to be bringing new ideas and things that IP that we own to clients, which means investment. And investing means you got to make decisions about which one you're going to do. And so to move forward with Shark, we were deciding, frankly, didn't actually look at too many different options. We other than the knowing that where we were wasn't where we wanted to be, in terms of consistency of output and making sure that we're making consistent decisions. But our first exposure to it was probably, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago or something like that, with a client engagement. So they were trying to make decisions around whether they should adopt a new technology, what are the benefits, what are the costs of that over a time frame, and so that drew us to, there wasn't a lot of options, and we didn't actually look too deeply into the competition, to be honest. But when we did, we didn't see anything particularly better. We're really even now focused on the do nothing or the keep doing what we're doing is what we're fighting, rather than other competition, to be honest. Yeah, so getting started in Shark was actually pretty easy. To be honest, I didn't even really needed a few minutes to kind of poke around a little bit in a bit of a sandbox, where it didn't worry about it, breaking anything or anything like that. But taking an idea that we had already in a spreadsheet somewhere and just transferring it over. And even pretty much the same now. It's it's a kind of a 10-minute exercise kind of thing, but I have way more confidence in the numbers coming out consistently and the calculations being done correctly. But even at the beginning, it wasn't too far off of that. Getting something started and delivering value right away to whatever process I was trying to do it in is pretty quick. On top of that, getting the templates in place and the bits of working with the Shark guys to actually get us up and running was really fast, and we got really good service, I felt, in terms of getting our templates uploaded and those types of things. And even since, with new ideas, they've been really responsive. That's a good question. I always start at the back end. I really like the consistency of outputs. How quickly you can just spin up a templatized. I don't usually use the Word and PowerPoint kind of consistently, like the whole thing kind of thing, but it generates graphics. It generates kind of a big range of options in terms of how I can get things across. So that those outputs, I think, is one of the strongest things that I like about it in ways. The clarity of inputs as well is really good, but I think the outputs is kind of the parts that I really like. We typically have a consistency problem. So we have, like, we don't know, somebody might come to a pitch and say, hey, I think we should spend X dollars on this, and we're going to make, I believe we can make, Y dollars against that. And of course, they would dress up the numbers to be in favor of this kind of investment. As you'd expect. I mean, that's what we build our business around, people's energy around those types of new ideas. The problem is that they, it's hard to keep them kind of in check in terms of the realities of, what the actual benefits are. Costs aren't so much a problem. I find that they're relatively consistent and the like, but how people describe benefits is, wildly varying from one person to the next, one personality to the next, one industry to the next. And so I don't want to say tempering people's optimism, but making sure you're consistently applying that optimism in a way that is, we're in a box, we're talking about the ins and outs of that box. You can stray out there and we can talk about those things, but that's not part of the evaluation that we're trying to keep that objective. And I find Shark allows me to bring people into that space a lot easier through that consistency. Yeah, I was going to say there's kind of two other things. Well, I mentioned the objectivity, but financial literacy, to be honest, is probably shouldn't be overlooked in terms of just the clarity of what an NPV calculation is. Like, and not that it's not this weird thing that you pull out of the sky. This is there's a calculation behind it, and there's financial standards that we need to trust, and we want to start those things early in the process when we're actually evaluating opportunities. So we're not just talking about capitalization and amortization separately from an NPV calculation and the like. So I think that financial literacy of how people understand what we're talking about, because we're often dealing with technical people that might have, or even salespeople that have a really strong relationship with a client, and they get very excited and the like. And it's like I find Shark allows us to break it right down and look at whether something's a viable opportunity or not. Yeah, I think in terms of why somebody might want to look at Shark, I think it's when you've got many opportunities that you're considering and you have, everybody has limited time and limited resources, and you're trying to decide one thing versus the next. That's where I've found the value, and I'd suggest anybody that's got a similar problem would benefit from Shark for sure.